Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for all your kind comments, your thumbs ups and your subscribing. I am so grateful to each and every one of you, new and old ones. So thank you so much. I have done this course that I have in my Etsyshop with how to make this journal, and now it's done. So I think that it's maybe time to start doing something new again. It took a while to make this big chunky one, but I think it was worth it. I would maybe call it more a book than a journal, because it's a little bit different from what I used to do. I often do it with a lot of pockets and white clean pages, and this is layered with all kind of different materials and flips. A lot of embroidery and textiles in it. And I hope this will be helpful for someone that will want to do this kind of more artistic kind of journal. You maybe could call it an art journal instead of a writing journal, but I think book is a name that will work. So it's 5 hours of recorded material with step by step how to do this one. So I hope this will be something that you will have use for. So let's put this away and start something new. So I'm going to do some pages or journal decorations today, and I'm going to do kind of a collage, I think. So first I'm just going to show you how I do. These are just antique botanical book pages, and this is 1800 old books. So I'm using old materials, and it's perfect when you want to paint. It's not at all anything that is difficult to do. So I'm just going to take some of my watercolors and give this some color. I'm just following the print. I want a little bit of color in it. As these are old books, they are not colored. So I'm just giving them a little bit of a tone. Nothing much at all. I just wanted to pop a bit. Just using up some leftovers on my palette, so sap green and blended with some brown and black to get it a little bit more muted and dark. Nothing difficult or fancy, just put on some color so it's not totally dark and boring, but very, very light in the colors. I have already done a few, so they could have time to dry. But I wanted to show you anyway how I do this. So nothing difficult, just follow the lines, and it doesn't matter if the water goes outside. It's totally fine anyway. So then I'm just going to splatter some blue. Like that. So leave that to dry, and then we're going to paint a little bit on these two. And I'm just going to take a piece of plastic to put under it so I can water it down a little bit more without getting my table wet. And I'm not going to paint any pattern, I'm just going to add a little bit of color on these two, just so it's not boring. And it's no problem at all with these old books. They are strong, and I'm just watering it down a bit extra first, and then I'm adding a bit of color so I can just get some fun patterns. Now I have it on bubble wrap, so it might be taking a bit of that, but I will move it later so it won't get stuck on those dots. Like so. So this is how it looks when it's dry. I have just put on a little bit of green and gray, and this got blue and brown. So let's start with this one. And I'm going to take a piece of textile and put that on the back of this one, just to give everything a bit of strength. And if I want to sew on it later on, then it's perfect to have this on the back of the paper. Put that down, kind of a little background. So then I'm going to use this one, I think. Maybe would like to have a one with a different color on. This is a bit lighter, I think that could work. So we kind of get two. this one. Another piece of book paper. Cutting off the straight edges. Maybe a piece of this paper with some golden dots on. Okay, then I'm going to take some of my plants that I have been outside picking today, or leaves maybe we could call them. Use the right name. I have ironed them so they are dry. Maybe these two. I ironed them so they were flat and dry, and now they have curled up again. But I think that will work anyway. So let's see if we can put this down. Maybe the big one here. See if we can manage this without breaking it. I will put some decoupage glue on top of these later so they won't move anywhere. And this one. And then I'm thinking some kind of little label or text. Maybe bold contrasts. Could work. No, we need to have it on the top. This way you can use text from old books and just cut them out and use them in your artwork. So I'm leaving that to dry a bit so we can put on some decoupage glue on top of them later on. So let's take the other one. (1836). Beautiful book. I have a lot of old books in my Etsy shop too, if you are interested in getting some of those. I have also added some rusty pieces in my Etsy shop, kind of like the closure on that journal I showed you. Then I have been outside in the snow for a few weeks now, so now they were perfect to use. Save that for something else. And we need some. So let's take this one. Need to hold them down a little bit while they are drying. are so stiff. But I wanted them to be really dry when I put them in, so I'm sure that they don't move later on. This leaf comes from one of the best trees to grow here in the north of Sweden. We have a bit of a problem with the cold. If there is snow, there is no problem, but if there is a lot of cold, but it's not covered with snow, it will freeze and die. So we need to have these trees that are good for cold climate. And now a bit for the stem. Try not to glue my fingers down and rip it. I think like that would break if I press it down. I think I want a little bit of something more. That one maybe. Small oak leaf too. And these are dried flowers that I had in a vase out on my patio, so I just took them in and flat them down, and they look nice. Will be beautiful decorations on these in these journals. I think we will go just with this little one. Shouldn't overdo it. Leave those for later. already decorated with some threads. Let's do some antique tape. Putting distress ink on the side where the glue is, and then I'm gluing it down instead. Looks like it will keep the stem in place. It looks like I have glued it down. And the label. And a bit of scribbling, like that. So I'm going to get my decoupage glue and glue these down a little bit more. And then I'm going to put this quote down here, or this text. Every season has its own range of colors that is breathtakingly beautiful, and the fresh pale green of spring is optimistic first shot of, particularly inspiring and uplifting for the soul. So I'm added a little bit of stitching. I thought that gold could go nicely with this one, as we have some gold dots on it. And on this one I added a bit of turquoise to go with the turquoise watercolor. Thought that could be nice. And now I have also put some decoupage glue on top of these, so now they are more like leather feeling on them. And I have matte decoupage glue, so you can see it doesn't totally dry there, but you can see that it's nothing that makes it look as they aren't real. That's nice. I can really feel the texture on them still. Like that. So I hope that little tutorial gave you some ideas to go outside, even if it hasn't become spring in your country yet. You can still use the old leaves for your decorations. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, I would always be grateful for your support. So thank you so much, and see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.